Welcome to the Transform Sales Podcast, where forward-thinking business leaders come to share their experiences and ideas, learn from each other, and amplify their results together.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Transform Sales Podcast, the software demo review series. I got my guest, Anna Stepura, the founder of Adlyse. I hope I pronounced everything correctly. If I didn't, got it. What's up, Anna? How are you? I met Anna 2 weeks ago at SaaStr. We were sitting down on a table, not looking or talking to each other for about 45 minutes. And then somehow we realized we could support each other. I don't know how, but it was definitely good meeting you. And I'm glad to not only get your product in the marketplace, but to get you on the show so we can talk about it.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to meet you as well. Actually, yes, it feels like we have a similar energy and like just instant connection, right? So it was
similar energy, different vehicles.
Yeah, for sure.
we get the job done. I gave Anna a personality test, and she's the executor. She likes things organized on time. I did not have the StreamYard link on the podcast, and I lost some points. She let me have it. She let me know that it was not orderly, but she's right. So I gotta get I gotta get organized. But so I know that your software does quite a few things for quite a few people, right? And anybody who's watching this show, we really love to productize and drill down to listings. So just remember that if we're not talking about you, you got to probably check out the other listing, because right now, this is the listing that we're talking about. We're talking about how Adlyse uses AI-powered Google Ads management for 24/7 optimization, and really is a good solution if you're an agency, which I found out is a dirty word. Some people don't like agency. So if you're a service provider, right, that focuses on delivering your service with Google Ads, you're going to find out in the next 25 minutes why you got to talk to Anna and Adlyse. So talk to me a little bit about, how you came up with the company, and I'm going to ask you my next question, but maybe you can give us a little story about how you discovered what you can do.
Sure. So it's my third AI startup. But before my startup journey, I've been a marketer for 9 years. And I started as a media buyer, the person who set up campaigns across Google, Meta, and so on, back to the Amsterdam. And we was working with different businesses and so on. But I saw how inefficient it was, the whole process, and how manual it was, and how much money we actually waste on advertising just because of manual process. And no matter how great you are, like, you still have to sleep. You cannot check the campaigns 24/7, right? So not efficient process, but it was 9 years ago. And at that time, we didn't have like AI capabilities and so on. But then I transitioned to another roles. I was a CMO, and of course, I saw that problem one more time. And then, like, after my last exit in 2024, I decided, okay, I wanted to build something what really correlates with my deep knowledge, my expertise. And I started asking people, like, if they have some problem. And what I found that, yes, people really have a problem with advertising. They would like to achieve better results for, of course, a lower cost. Agencies would like to have better margin, right, for the business. But at the same time, they also would like it would be easier, and that every person could be like top media buyer, top chief marketing officer. And we all know that Google, Meta, and LinkedIn and other social media platforms, paid media platforms, they're interested in selling you like the most expensive ads, is if possible, right? Yeah. But still that you will not churn, right? So you will stay with them and so they definitely not interested to showing you the best return of investment for your ads. That's why actually this whole advertising management is existing, like the whole industry.
Yeah.
So with that, we realized that yes, AI can do it everything much better, much deeper, analyze it. And that's how we started building solution with my partner, who is also deeply in advertising and AI. And since then, we started giving it to other businesses, and they really feel that it's a much better solution in terms that it can increase your budget efficiency by 15%. It can really show you better results, more conversions, but like also it's so easy. You just communicate with a human via chat. You ask any questions, you give any task.
Well, you're going to show the demo, right? I'm going to pause you for a second, all right? So if I understand you correctly, yes, Anna is 27 years old. Yes, she's already on her third. 28. Yeah, she's on her third exit, and you should feel motivated by that because if Anna can do it, and Anna, you were American born? No, right?
No, I'm originally from Ukraine, so I'm here. Yeah.
She can do it from Ukraine. Coming to America and being on her third exit at 28, you can do it too, right? Second of all, she discovered that humans are weak; they have to sleep, right? And I mean, that's what I heard.
Plus, they cannot analyze everything so deeply. Like you cannot analyze.
Hannah, in my community, it's okay to say the truth. Humans are weak and they need to sleep. And before, I guess, coming into the alternative for your software, right? Just jumping into that a little bit, you probably answer as fast. It sounded like humans were doing this work, right? So maybe like what were people doing before buying your software? And obviously that could also mean just paying too much for ads and not getting results. But what was the alternative?
The alternative was either you have to hire a media buyer in your in-house, right?
Yeah.
Your business, and still, like people have to sleep, right? It still would be not that deep analysis, but yes, if it's a great expert, they would bring you performance. Yeah. Another alternative, it is a hiring agency, but we all know that it's like pretty high cost. And I understand also it's from agency side because you have to keep your margin. So right now, this is a solution for
service providers. We can't use the bad word anymore. I've offended people. Service providers. I'm just joking. I'm joking, but I'm serious. Okay. I changed the word from agencies to service providers because some agency owners were offended by the word agency. So we have to be less. We have to work on our language here on the podcast. So basically, challenges before, right? Service providers were having to hire high cost humans that were churning as well, probably not happy with their job and leaving for another one. And they weren't really able to optimize their ad spend. So typically they're just spending more money on ads, getting a lower ROI and having to spend more on people, right?
Yes, because like the management cost for you as a service provider, right?
Yeah.
Is high. And in order to like grow your business, you need to charge more your clients, right?
Yeah.
Gonna charge them more because they already like kind of angry and they want to find.
This all makes sense to me. Cost of goods are going up. Cost of everything's going up. Right? Mm-hmm. The cost of ads are going up. Cost of employees are going up, and you're giving agencies the ability to transform their service delivery model, right? So now they're able to say, if an agency hires you that's focused on Google, they're able to come to my world and create a new listing that's AI powered because they're using your software to drive the operations of their services at a more efficient rate. That makes sense to me. I like it. This is what we do here at the marketplace.
Yeah. Is it like service providers or if it's a business, we give this technology to everyone and they can leverage it how they would like it to do. Like for better outcomes, right?
You ready for show and tell?
You mean like showing the demo or what? Yes, sure. Yeah, sure. How can you do it here?
You just hit share screen with that plus arrow up, and then I'm going to add it.
Plus present. I see.
Yeah, present. She's making pretend that she doesn't know what she's doing, but that's just an act.
Okay.
You know exactly where to go.
Okay, sure. So perfect.
You're a technology leader born in the technology era building AI.
Yeah, so this is the dashboard of Adlyse. So the thing is that our main thing is the dashboard of the chat. And with the chat, you can ask any questions. For example, like what is going on inside of your campaign. Imagine if you're a business owner or if you're a marketer, right? And you would like to have the best outcomes of your ads. So you can ask any questions, for example, which have the highest ROI at the last 30 days and why. And then it starts analyzing all the information in the Google Ads account and providing you with the results. And for example, we can see then different answers. For example, the answer which campaign is the waste of budget. Like let's say the truth, right? Like what was the waste of money?
Where are you wasting money?
Yes, and then it's analyzed all the information inside of your Google ads and analyzes, that, for example, these campaigns, it was waste of budget. Like, of course, Google has not dollars, but micros. It's like the official currency of Google Ads. So, and here we can see it. Or, for example, if we would like to know what else, top phone call campaign. And we can see here that this is the name of the campaign which has the most calls for the last days. And you can ask any type of question. You don't need to ask it like very properly. You just like interact with it as with any AI chat, right? But the biggest
it's like you're talking to your demand gen leader who takes time to give you answers. Instead of talking to him, you're talking to Adlyse, right?
Yes, because at least it's your AI worker. So it's not like just another software. It's AI worker which execute for you, right?
Yeah.
So, and like if you have a human, for example, in your team, and what you would do to human, you would communicate, right? You will ask some questions, you will give some tasks. So it would be the same experience. But what if you would like to look what is under the hood, right? So then we go to dashboard and we can see here different, for example, metrics of one of our customer. And so this is the main dashboard. And then let's say what is going on inside of any campaign. So if you are curious to see what is going on under the hood, and for example, we can ask it through the chat, but I would like to show you what also happening there. Let's go to any campaign. And in that campaign, we can see, okay, the results. We can enable autopilot by clicking this button. If we enable, it means that your advertising campaign would be managed automatically every 30 minutes.
Okay.
During the night, during the day. Yes. What does it mean by management? By management, I mean that everything what doesn't work for the great performance, everything what is waste of budget, AI can analyze it, and AI can shut it down. If something is performing very well and we say, okay, well, like for example, this keyword is performing super good, we have to increase the budget. So then, for example, like here's green keywords, meaning that this is what AI analyzes in their competitive advantage and found these keywords, which is not in your campaign yet, but you can apply it. If you enable autopilot, it will be applied on autopilot. But for example, if you would like to have a full control, you can just go here. Every time it would be up-to-date information, and you can apply or decline this insight. Yeah, you just change it. Or like, as I mentioned, if it's autopilot,
it'll all do it. Yeah. And that's probably like after you get used to its changes, right? Kind of like an employee.
Yeah. But like, I mean, like you also can ask to do it through the chat, right? You can ask to do it through the chat and it would be done. But just like to be clear, to show what is going on. Then also,
is that your natural language? Are you a robot and you're speaking code? I saw that. You're like, I was just joking around. I'm still trying to figure out if you're AI or not.
No, it was me.
Okay.
So
test.
Yes. Then, for example, the strategy, like the first thing first, before even running the campaign, because I showed you right on the existing campaigns, you have to generate the strategy. And for example, here we already have the customer account. Yes. So we already AI analyzes the website information, everything about that company, and then it processes your request. It analyzes competitors right now, analyzes who is your ideal customer profile. By ideal customer profile, I mean who is the best client customer for you,
most likely to buy.
Yes, right? And because of that, it's super important, you know, like I've seen so many mistakes actually agencies and media buyers does, because they just don't think a lot about ICP, and they add a lot of different keywords, which could be like similar word, but it's really different meaning. If I would like to say like, I would like to buy a cup or make a cup. If I would like to buy a cup, I'm a buyer. But if I would like to make, I am the attender of some workshop how to make a cup, right? And it's completely like different things which I would like to do in the internet. And we don't need to spend money on like how to make a cup keyword, for example, for this campaign.
Sure.
So yeah,
so
here
negative keywords too, right? It also identifies negative
yes
keywords.
So if, for example, here like it's on the autopilot, you see like it was 5 seconds, and for 5 seconds it's created like the whole structure of the campaign. For example, what would be the ad groups, for example, for this HVAC company, what would be the keywords there, what would be the text, the creatives, the audience, all of that is done by AI. You don't need to do it manually. And once it's done, one click and it's already live. Then, for example, like campaigns we already saw, and reports. For example, this is the most useful feature for agencies. Businesses, they of course get reports from us every time, like every week, every month, depends how they would like to do
whatever
it.
frequency they want. Yeah.
Yes, but for example, if you're an agency and you would like to utilize our software to like increase margin of your business, to serve more customers, then for example, you can create a report. For example, name some name, then the report type, conversion, campaign, custom report, performance. Let's say report schedule. Let's say I would like to send weekly. Date range, the last 30 days, for example, what changed for the last 30 days. Metrics, let's say CTR. I also would like to add return of ad spend, cost, then conversion rate, anything what you would like to do. And then
does it need to connect to like your CRM and your Google Analytics?
It's it's inside of your Google Analytics, and also with much deeper analysis, which we have under the hood and which we've also developed. And yes, by
how does it know the ROS without knowing like a closing information from like a HubSpot or Salesforce?
It depends. For example, like for some good question. For some companies, they can have ROS if the conversion for them was, for example, through the click on the website, or for example, booking a call, right? And we can already see how many conversions was, right? And then we can understand. Okay, so each conversion, for example, for them was $60 or $50 each click, for example. But if it is something like you have to sell it later, and would be a full cycle of sales, it's harder to track. And for that, we need the connection to CRM. It's a custom connection, but we always can deliver it to the company which is needed. And here's dimensions, and then we just create a report. And for example, it would be the same report, send it to your customer every, let's say, 7 days. And I know that so many agencies, they spend hours per week for each client to send kind of very well-crafted report. Sure. And right now it could be done also with your logo, with everything. So it would be like fully represented you in a very good way.
Well, look, this tend to be like some of the when a person works in a field and sees the problems themselves, right, and then fixes it with software, you sometimes get some of the best outputs, right? Like I remember talking to Tim Zeng, who's the CEO of Apollo, and I talked to him back in 2016, and he was like basically like, hey, I sat down and I watched what all the SDRs are doing every day, and I just automated it with sequences, right? And he built $1 billion company. 7 years later. So it's kind of the playbook is, be in the field, see the pain, and then fix it firsthand, right? So like you're kind of, and that's kind of also how I pivoted from an agency to a marketplace. Mm-hmm. I saw the pain between the buyers and sellers. I saw the how they were buying, how they were selling, right? So it's always, in my opinion, I get comfortable when I find finders that, were in the space, saw the problems, felt the pain, and then fixed it because they were doing it, right? You were a practitioner. You were probably pulling these reports for your clients, right? You were seeing, so like all of this for me kind of comes across as like your first person experience as an agency owner or working in the field, right? Which I think leads to the best fixing, right? In my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah,
could be wrong.
That's what I also think, that it's only for better if you know the field where you are right now building. And I've seen the pain from both sides, and we've created a solution which can serve both sides. Like if you're a service provider, if you're a business who needs like just great ads, we can help both, and we can finally break those cycle of constant problems and without normal solution, right?
Yeah, and that's why we productize here, right? Like we're talking about agencies, right? And that's why you're getting into the reports and the client serving, right? Because that same tool, it's used for the same objectives, but a little bit of a different way for an agency than an end client, right? And then clients more sending reports to their leadership, not their multiple clients, right? Yes. Whereas an agency is managing multiple clients. Same, faster, cheaper, more efficient, but just a little bit different of like, the outputs, right? And that's why in our world, you have two listings. You got one for agencies, which we're talking now, right? And then you got one for, then you got one for businesses, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And also, like right now, like soon we will be launching our new capabilities, and in a few weeks would be an event in-person event, finance online, in New York City. It would be about vibe marketing. I don't know if you've heard of that concept. Vibe marketing. It's like when any person on this earth can really be a top marketer with the technology. So for example, like you can leverage Adlyse, it's AI worker, right? Which can set up you winning advertising without you being a great marketer, without knowing anything. And you don't need even to know what to click on that software, because you can just ask through the chat and say what you want to achieve through the chat. You say like, I want to achieve 1,000 leads this month. Adlyse will create a strategy for you, will show you like what you have to have as an advertising, like what would be the best strategy, what would be the budget. But then once it's created all of that strategy, it also can execute it. Not only
which goes my question, right? The task deliverable, it's the people involved in setting up the software. I'll obviously speak to it, but it does sound like you're removing the need for full-time employees. Maybe you could chat a little bit about this. Like, how long does it take to reach full productivity, and like what is the way of using it? Obviously there's a theme in AI where it's easier, right? So I think we're obviously, gravity in our world is faster, cheaper, more efficient. But can you speak a little bit to this last question before my last question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How long does it take to reach full productivity? You mean like right now, like before people were spending like 30 hours, and right now they need to spend like this, right, to achieve the same results? This was the question, right?
Well, basically it's like, look, if I'm an agency and I'm going to buy Adlyse, right? How long until I got 30 accounts I'm managing? How long until I could fully swap in Analyst and start using it with and do I need any professionals, or is this something that your existing team can use?
Your existing team can use, for sure. You don't need any additional professionals. How long does it take? I don't know, like 1 day maximum. Like we need 30 minutes for onboarding. If you need customization, also a couple of hours, maybe up to 1 day. If you need something customized, connected to CRM, wherever, and then you're good to go.
It's not an Oracle product, right? That's what you're telling us.
Yeah. It's just so easy. If you're a business, you can launch your campaign in one click. Soon will be that big launch for us, like launching your Google Ads campaign in one click without like even setting up everything. So we are also striving for the best user experience possible, to make it super easy, to make it so irresistible offer that everyone can have it and can really like deliver best marketing results.
Awesome. Last question. I'm an agency. I want to do my Google Ads faster, cheaper, more efficient. What KPI are agencies typically measuring your success on?
So what KPIs for agencies? I would say KPIs for agencies and KPIs for businesses. KPIs for agencies, it is how much more they can do with Adlyse. For example, like before they were able to serve 10 clients accounts with having like, let's say like a few people, media buyers. Now they can manage 20, 30 accounts, like at least double client base.
Measure your success by,
yes.
Can I service more accounts without any headcount?
Yes.
In my world, that's $1 billion company. It doesn't need to do anything else, right? So that's why, and you notice how your tendencies, you want to talk about agencies and you want to talk about businesses. Remember, guys, who's listening, this is just one listing we're focusing on. You have the business ones, right? But it's sometimes different measurements, right? Where an agency would measure how many accounts can I now manage that have accounts, and then maybe an end client, without putting words in your mouth, correct me if I'm wrong, would measure how effective are my ad spend, how fast am I doing it, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So just like that, like you don't need to spend time on reports, you don't need to spend time on 24/7 management all the time. Like the only thing which you really still the humans really,
you have to have a good offer.
I mean, like, yes, I know it sounds like crazy, but because I'm so deeply in AI, I really understand that really our world will be transformed, and no matter how humans like screaming right now that, oh no, we don't want to, it will replace us. Some part of job it will replace, and this is not for bad, it's for good. But the only thing we have to adapt, and we have to learn new skills. That's it. Like we are just evolving. This is a normal
Who is your favorite human?
favorite human. I mean, I don't have actually any.
You gotta pick one human.
Uh,
You're leaving Earth. Earth's about to blow up. You got one more space to bring a human. Who is that human?
I think it was my mom. I mean,
It's fine. Your favorite human's I like it. Tough question, right? Bet you never been asked that one.
yeah. I mean, but this is the thing, and what, for example, this is I see like the most value. For example, what agencies have to focus on is to really deliver like super great, super personalized service experience, and for example be in very great communication with your customers. And you right now have time to dedicate on it. You have resources, you have space to think about what it would be the strategy for growing your business. What should we do something extra to for this customer, you know, like in order to like have a long-lasting relationship and so on. And the rest would be automated and managed by AI. So this is the thing. For businesses, it means that right now you are like not in need to find all the time like one professional, second professional, third professional, and just changing and seeing like who will deliver best results, or like one agency changing to another agency. You just need to like ask Adlyse what to do. Then like it creates your strategy, and then you ask to execute it.
I like it. For everybody who's tuning in, Anna, I really do appreciate your time. You can obviously find a listing to Adlyse in the description below. But anybody who wants to connect with you, find out more about your events that you throw, where can they specifically reach out to you? What are you using? LinkedIn? What's your channel these days?
I think LinkedIn. I also have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I think like also
TikTok?
Yeah, the TikTok, no. YouTube
Instagram?
channel, LinkedIn. Instagram, yes.
All right. Awesome. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Transform Sales Podcast. I would definitely check out Adlyse. I would definitely pick Anna's brain. She's hosting events. She's teaching people. And you know, at the end of the day, we all love humans, but you know, it's time for humans to maybe get back to different kind of work, right?
Yes, really like we connect with other humans more rather than
building families. What about families?
Oh, wow! Actually, yes, it's a great idea. Because we're so busy, right?
Yeah, I'm a salesperson, so now that I have a kid, I'm just selling everybody and having kids. Right, that's just what I do. Right, and I'll let you go. And thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for invitation. Yes, yes.